Based in Cape Premier Oscar Mabuyane also delivered his State of the Province address. Siphosethu Booi is there and she's standing by for a debrief in terms of what we heard coming out of the Premier of that province, Siphosethu. Top of mind for him is gender-based violence.
Definitely, Duduzile, but it's just one of those issues where you really sit and wait for an action plan when it comes to gender-based violence. Investment, attraction and job creation were also just part of his speech, including the film industry. I think that is one aspect that was quite mind-blowing, the fact that the film industry promotion got 23 million in the past few years, and also the Premier just speaking to us about the importance of this investment from the film side, because that particular department is actually making more money for the province. And of course there is a Kalo fund for youth development. Now this particular fund is for the young entrepreneurs to actually get funding from the state. But I am joined now Duduzile by Nkosinathi Nodlakala, the UDM party leader in the legislature, who will just engage us about some of the topics at hand that of course the Premier spoke to us this morning. Mr. Nodlakala, I think the very first question, and many other Eastern Cape residents were expecting to hear more as far as plans are concerned, was the issue of the flooding in Komani. Yes, the Premier spoke about that, but was there an action plan of implementation to, of course, assist that plus minus over 300 people who are now left without homes in the province?
Okay, thanks to you, and good day to the viewers at home. The Premier, this State of the Province address to us, it was just an election campaign meant for the next coming elections, because he did not address the issue of the flooding. He just mentioned that there was flooding in Queenstown, and he never mentioned his plans on how are they going to help the people, because we've got the victims of flood still waiting in the queue to get assistance from the government early as 2010. Those people are still destitute, and we believe now that the MEC doesn't have a plan by today, those people will remain destitute until Jesus comes.
And also the issue of job creation. We heard him speak about the Dimbaza infrastructure as far as those departments are concerned, including the roads infrastructure and those plans that are in place. Action also, your reaction to that?
No, the Premier keeps on boasting about the creation of jobs, but to us he fails to give us a clear picture of the state of employment in our province. You've got 144,000 jobs created, but it doesn't mention that there is a large number of jobs lost in the process. So the rate is increasing. The rate of unemployment in the Eastern Cape is increasing as much as there are new jobs created, but the rate is increasing, and there is no clear plan to save the jobs that are already occupied by our people. He only mentions only those that are being created in that particular period.
Please speak to us about the issue of crime. I mean, just now in Unu, there were shootings and the mass shootings in Kabeja. I didn't really hear much in terms of plans in place and in recruitments in the Eastern Cape province, more police, how this plan will actually help to curb the mass shootings that are happening in the province. Some would say they are related to the issue of SMMEs. I heard him speak about that as well, but no distinct plan with regards to the issue of crime in the province.
Yes, indeed, there is no plan from the Premier to deal with a high rate of crime in the province, especially the mass killings that are happening. So the Premier only condemning this mass killings or crime in the province is not a solution. There must be a clear solution. Invest more on crime fighting agencies. So the MEC only condemns the criminality that is happening in the province, and that is not the solution. He's supposed to be having a clear plan on how is he going to deal with the crime, the high rate of crime, especially the mass killings that we are faced with.
Right. Nkosinathi Nodladla, UDM party leader here in the legislature, Dudu, just speaking to us about some of the issues that were raised and also discussed by the Premier to the Eastern Cape province as a whole, speaking also about the issue of unemployment, school infrastructure, and of course the health department. Not really much has been said about the previous year, of course, speaking to us about the plans of this particular year and how, of course, they'll take accountability with regards to making sure that many other nurses that are still unemployed at Duzile in the province actually get attended to, and the issue of mobile clinics, because in some areas here, rural areas in specific, some areas actually don't have mobile clinics, let alone to have good infrastructure as far as clinics and police stations are concerned, while the increase of crime is also rapid. Furthermore, the issue of water in the province, including the Nelson Mandela Bay. Yes, he spoke about that, and also that a new plan from the water department that will be actually commencing in September, just to try and assist the residents of Nelson Mandela Bay as far as the drought that is, of course, now also just taking its part in the Eastern Cape, and the issue of water disruptions and disruptions that are currently ongoing in the metro, and also just the issue of unemployment has been one that many of the residents in and around have been waiting for the Premier to speak about, including the floods. So at this point, it's just a waiting game in terms of implementation as of those plans that Premier Oscar Mabuyane spoke about this afternoon and morning here in the provincial legislature.